Hi, St. Philip Deacon friends. I'm Pastor Tim Westermeyer, the senior pastor of St. Philip Deacon. Welcome back to our podcast. I want to talk today about the second author that I lifted up in my sermon this past weekend, which I preached, as we talked about last time, to an empty sanctuary. The first author I lifted up and theologian is Martin Luther. The other one was one of my absolute favorite authors and thinkers of all time, C.S. Lewis. I lifted up very short quotes from two essays by Lewis. One is called On Living in an Atomic Age, and the other is called Learning in Wartime. I'm not going to talk through everything he discussed in those essays, although I would commend them to you, but I will tell you that in both of them, what he comes to ultimately is a recognition that the particular time that his listeners were living in was different in the sense that it lifted up in a new and profound way the reality of death. He also goes on to say that that is not a bad thing, that Christians through the ages have considered that, in fact, a blessing. And if that sounds strange, I will remind you that we are currently in the season of Lent, which begins on Ash Wednesday, when each of us receive on our foreheads an ashen cross with the words, "Remember you are dust, and to dust you will return." It's not "remember you are dust, and to dust you may return," or "remember you are dust, and to dust you might return." We are reminded in no uncertain terms every single year that one day, we will die. And there's great wisdom in that. There's a recognition of our limits and a recognition that the only time we have to do good in the world is today. As I've said before in this place, I believe that St. Philip the Deacon has been called to be a blessing to the world during these strange and difficult times. And I invite all of us to be reminded today that God loves you first, and second, that God is inviting you today to share that love with others. Be well, be safe, and we'll see you next time.